And we're back. This game, Ontario Women's versus BC Under-23 team. And BC steal possession off the center pass. Quick pace, wide open goal attack, taking a mid-range shot. And does not even need the penalty. BC with a 1-point lead, and they have center pass. BC looking for the open player, Ontario with a good tip. And that's another point by the BC Under-23 goal attack. Looks like we have some Ontario fans on the live stream. Nice to see you here. Go Ontario, go. Long pass by Ontario, short one into their shooter. Falls a little bit short, but they get the rebound. And they get a penalty. Can they get it in? Yes, they can. 2 for BC, 1 for Ontario. BC with the center pass. Shooter's doing a little rotation there. Out of court, unluckily for the shooters. We have Ontario with the throw on. But it's back to BC. With the throw on. Open shooter out far. Mid-range shot. Not a problem for the goal attack despite that height, and beautiful jump by the Ontario goal defense. Ontario making quick work of getting the ball in the circle. BC goalkeeper denies the lob. And they're slowing it down with a penalty, bringing it back, resetting, keeping the passes clean and open. Rebound by goalkeeper Ontario, and they get the penalty. We have someone else in the chat. They're from Ontario, but they're also cheering for BC. Love to see it. Thank you everyone for all their support. Ontario with a steal, easy steal for Ontario. Looking wide down court. Just a bit short or long. BC get the throw in. Yes, thank you for all your comments. If you have any questions about what's happening in the play, maybe who the players are, I can try and figure that out. And I'll make sure to give you an update on the score periodically. But yeah, feel free to message in the chat where you're from. Do you play netball? Did you play netball? Who are you cheering for? Love to hear it. Big tumble from the goal defense, Ontario. But they get up right away and they get the ball. Ontario with a penalty. Working it in. Oh, sorry, goal attack from Ontario. And a penalty for Ontario. Long shot. Little bit short, but they get the rebound. And this time it goes in. BC breaking on the center pass, so Ontario get possession. Solid effort from the BC goal defense. But that was also a contact. Ontario looking deep, stolen by the goalkeeper. Looking for that open pass. Using the defense for help there. Beautiful work, beautiful movement. Goal attack comes out right at the perfect time. And a penalty for BC. That's one more point for BC. The score's 4 points for BC, 2 for Ontario. Still have 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Plenty of time left in the game. All right, quick give and go with the BC players at the circle. Ontario defense putting lots of pressure on BC. And a penalty shot counts for BC. Good defense by Ontario goalkeeper. BC manages to get the loose ball, maintain possession. BC with an offside pass. Nice lob to the other shooter. And a penalty for Ontario. Ontario looking to come back. Close in on BC's lead. But they just step out of court with the ball. BC looking to extend their lead. Beautiful tip by the goalkeeper. Nice save, but taken by Ontario. A little bit of a sky battle there. Ontario looking deep, looking far. And that's one for Ontario. The score is 5-3 for BC. Ontario has the center pass. They want to close in. They want to shorten BC's lead to only 1 point. Nice no-look pass by Ontario. And another penalty for Ontario. Ontario closed their lead. Closed BC's lead to only 1 point. Score is 5-4. Stolen by the Ontario wing defense. Unfortunately, they take one too many steps, but it's stolen again. And, oh, loose ball. Who has possession in the end? It is BC outside the circle. Small tip by the goalkeeper. Not enough to get it out of possession, but the second one does, and Ontario has a chance to tie the game. Taken away by BC. Perhaps a little too close on the defense, but it goes away and BC gets a point out of it. Penalty for Ontario. They're gonna look deep, they're gonna look far for that shooter who's holding. The goal shooter is holding, waiting for them. Still waiting. And there it is. Saved, but taken by BC. And that's the patience there. BC adds one more point. That's 7-4 for BC. Looks like Ross has a question in the chat. When is a goalkeeper allowed to jump to defend a shot? That's a great question. Goalkeepers are always allowed to jump to defend a shot, but they are not allowed to contact the shooter. So one, you can't contact the player with the ball, and two, your feet have to be 3 feet away from the person with the ball. So oftentimes they jump and they're falling into that 3 feet space, and that's why they get the call. But if they jump and maintain 3 feet away, or they jump and they land away from the shooter that doesn't block their view, then that should be allowed to go without an issue. So great question, Ross. Continue to ask questions if you need more clarification. The score is 8-5 for BC. BC has possession and they're trying to extend their lead. Missed shot, but rebound taken by the goal attack, who sinks it in. It is a close game for sure. And there's Ontario. Easy passes into the circle. No defense on them. Going for the long shot. A little bit too far, so BC have the throw-in. Goalkeeper from Ontario just on fire with the defense. And you have to be when you have tight defense from BC as well. Almost taken by the wing defense. Ontario maintains possession and gets that open pass to the shooter. Penalty is not needed. Shooter scores. No problem, Ross. Thank you for asking questions. That's what I'm here for. Keep you entertained on the live stream. All right, looks like there's a bit of a mix-up with who has the center pass, so we are taking it again. And it's BC with the center pass. Long shot by goal attack. A little bit short. Tipped and taken again by possession for BC. Shooter's working really hard to get open. That means, you know, Ontario defense is working very hard. Another missed shot by BC, but they get the rebound. Beautiful balance, and this time it goes in. The score is 10-6 for BC. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Beautiful look into the circle by Ontario, but it just fumbles out of the shooter's hands. That was a beautiful look, beautiful. Looks like it might have hit the goal attack's nose a little bit. Hope they're okay. They're covering their nose. All right, looks like they're okay. Nope, covering their nose. They're okay. Okay, we're back. Looks like we have someone cheering for Ontario, and especially their wife, Shalini. Currently playing center. All right. Go, Shalini, go. And there you go. Defense by Shalini. On point. Great timing. Thank you for coming to cheer out. And the players always appreciate your support. BC struggling to maintain possession with Ontario's defense here, but they get the ball in the circle. Long range shot. Just goes over, but into the hands of the goal shooter. And they get a penalty shot. And this time it goes in. More cheering for Ontario. I love to see it. Thanks for joining us on the live stream, and lots more games left to go today. Wing defense with a steal. Manages to not fall into the circle and pull it in with two hands. Beautiful work. And more great defense by BC. Seems like it's going to be a game with a lot of turnovers. Wow, what a look into the shooter. And that's another point for BC. The score is 12-6 for BC. Ontario with the center pass. Ontario center with the ball. There goes Shalini. And that's a point for Ontario. Little bit out of court here. Untouched. Remember, in a center pass, the ball must be touched or caught in the center third. And it looks like we have another listener, Blaze Salmon, cheering on Mareda on the BC team. Thank you, Blaze, for joining in. And there we go. One more point for BC. Just over 30 seconds left in the first period, or the first quarter. Ontario with the center pass. Adoma cheering for Toronto. Go Ontario. Shalini, Shanice, Tiana, Golda, Jasmine. I love it. Thank you. Little fumble by BC. Ontario takes advantage. You can hear their teammates cheering behind, telling them to keep it easy. Don't need to force the pass. Just pass to the open player. Slow it down. That's exactly what they're doing, and they look for that open player. Just not enough time for them to score. No worries, it's only the first quarter. The score is 13 for BC, 7 for Ontario. We'll see you in just under 3 minutes for the second quarter. All right, we are back for the second quarter. Again, the score is 13 for BC, 7 for Ontario. 15 minutes on the clock. And again, for those of you who don't know, netball has 4 15-minute quarters, and those 15 minutes are running time unless the umpire chooses to hold time if the ball rolls away far or if someone calls an injury time. And during these 15 minutes, you are not allowed to have any substitutions on court. So it's a bit different from basketball, a bit different from some other sports, and it's a bit harder on the coach because they have to choose their lineup and they have to stick with it for the entire quarter. All right, looks like we have some more Ontario fans on the live stream. Thank you for joining. And we just got the roster in, so we can share some names. Since the quality's a little poor, maybe help you see who you're cheering for. All right, BC with a penalty pass on court. There's an open player, can they see it? Yes, but a little bit high. Thankfully the BC center is there. Nice take by the goal wing attack. But Ontario gets the steal. They have possession. They're looking to score. Ontario with the shot, and it's good. Closing in scores 13-8 for BC, and Ontario have the center pass. Can they add one more? Looking for the shooter. There she is. Nice shot. That's one more. 13-9 for Ontario. They are doing great. 2 minutes has not even passed in the second quarter, and they are hungry. They want to win just as badly as the BC does. We have a penalty pass for BC. And they don't need that second penalty shot. They make it go in. All right, Shalini with the center pass. Ontario making that front cut. A little bit difficult, but they made it through. And that's another point for Ontario. They are closing in, 4 points away from a tie. BC, shooter, asking for the ball in the circle, just missed it. They get it on the front cut, not a worry. Rebound taken by BC. Mid-range shot, and it's good. All right, 15 for BC, 10 for Ontario. It's a close game for sure. BC looking for the open player down court. Beautiful take by the wing attack and good defense by the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper coming off of their player to get that defense. And it worked. Now they have the throw on. Ontario using their height to their advantage there in the circle. And now we have the roster names in for both teams. We have the last names only, I believe. I'll do my best to read them clearly. The reading's a bit difficult to see, but in goal defense for Ontario, we have Acklewood. In goal attack, we have Kane. In goalkeeper, we have Mendez. Goal shooter, we have Squines. Wing attack, we have Jackson. Wing defense, Peters. And center is Rajesh Wanan. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and I apologize again. The writing is very difficult to read, as the roster paper is very, very narrow. BC with a steal. Shooters trying to catch up and get in the circle. Patience with the ball, using that edge of the circle to their advantage, right over the goalkeeper's long, long reach and into the hoop. The score 16 for BC, 11 for Ontario. And on the BC team, we have Secic in goal shooter, Kelly in goal attack, Kong in center, Dang in wing attack, Strandberg Salmon for wing defense, Tuazon for goal defense, and McElgin for goalkeeper. Ontario close in the gap, 16-12. BC with a little fumble in the shooting circle, but they maintain possession. Long reach again by the goal defense, but they are too close. They're within the 3 feet range, so that's a penalty for BC. And again, an obstruction, but they don't need the penalty. The shot goes through. Shalini with the center pass. Tries to send it to the shooter, but just fumbles a little bit there. BC with the throw on. BC struggling to get open in the defensive third, but it's really opening up now in the offensive third. They're using those cuts to get open. Denied by the goalkeeper. Excellent defensive work from Ontario goalkeeper. I agree, yes, in the chat. We're thinking the same. All right. BC trying to get open. Excellent take by Tuazon. Goal shooter coming out to help. Looking for that open shooter in the circle. Opting for that lob. Just shy of the hoop. Ontario with the throw-in. Long ball by Ontario. Yep, they're looking far. They want the ball to their shooter as fast as possible. They're not here to play around. They're here to win. And to win, you need to score some points. So that's what they're doing. BC now looking to do the same thing. Good patience with the ball, taking their time, but not letting that 3-second infringement happen. And that's thanks to the teammates' excellent drives. Contact call, and it's a penalty. Penalty is good. 18-12 for BC. Just under 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Excellent passing from the goal shooter, trying to move around, find that comfortable space in the circle to score. And now they're letting the other shooter take that penalty. Just a bit long on the rim. Ontario gets the rebound, but they miss the pass, and it goes out of court. So BC with a throw-in. BC has another chance to score from the center third. Making their way into the circle. Little bit of a forced ball. It goes out of court. Ontario now has another chance to score. You can hear the coaches telling them to keep the balls short. Don't need to force the long ball. That was a forced long ball, and BC took advantage of it. Mid-range shot. And it's good. Great question, Ross. So a penalty happens if there is a certain kind of infringement. That includes obstruction, when you're too close, or a contact, for example. And so on a penalty, whoever did the obstruction or the contact has to stand beside, as you probably already know. So they have to stand beside until the player releases the ball. When you have a penalty inside the shooting circle, you can pass it or you can shoot it. If they shoot it and they score, that's great, that's a point. We go back to center pass. If they shoot it and they miss, play goes on, and the person standing beside can play again. They can go for the rebound, no problem, because the shooter released the ball. Sometimes you'll see that the player is about to shoot and they release the ball at the same time as the umpire blows the whistle for a penalty. And if the shot goes in, then it's fine, the goal counts. They don't need to do the penalty again because they scored. But if the shot misses and the umpire blew the whistle as the shot was happening, they have to take it back and do that penalty all over again. So that's why you sometimes see them resetting for that penalty. And also, as you just saw and we saw in the last point, any player, it doesn't have to be the player who had the ball who has to take the penalty now. So the shooter can say, hey, this is a bit too far of a shot, and I know the other shooter is good at shooting far. So I'm gonna put the ball down and let my teammate take the shot. That's totally allowed. I'm not sure if that clarifies your question on the penalty. Please let me know or add some further questions. And I'm sure some other people were wondering as well. So thank you for your question, Ross. Ontario making good work of their defense, but BC with a steal by Chuazon. So this was an obstruction in the center third. Center is standing beside until the ball is released by BC, and now they're back in play. Shalini's back in play. Good reach, and it managed to throw the shooters off. So Ontario has possession. The score is 19-15 for BC. Awesome, Ross. Thank you for the clarification. And more cheers for Ontario. Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining. Ontario has a shot. Just goes over, but the other shooter gets possession, and this time the missed shot goes to BC, but they are out of court. So Ontario has another chance at winning. A point here. Excellent look, Shalini, into the goalkeeper who was wide open under the hoop. Ontario's closing in, only a 3-point gap And they have the center pass, so they can close it in to 2 points. Good patience by Ontario. There's the shot. It's good. 19-17. Ontario is catching up. 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. BC with possession. Good look into the circle. And a tip by the goalkeeper. A lot of a loose ball there. BC has possession here. Shooter looking to reset and take advantage of the positioning. Unfortunately, Ontario gets the rebound for BC. An excellent hustle from both teams here. Ontario with the possession. Shalini trying to get her balance. Good bounce pass, just fumbling out of the fingertips there. Goal shooter with a shot. Just off. Goalkeeper has the penalty here. That was a contact call from the Ontario goal shooter. Excellent defense, swing attack, Ontario. Really forcing BC to make these fumbles. I agree, nice ball movement by Ontario. Love the cheering. Keep it up, everyone. BC, beautiful look for that space in the circle. Little bit of window washing from the goalkeeper there. I love it. I'm sure that distracted the shooter. Score is 20-17 for BC. Ontario working hard to maintain possession. BC defense is tight. Excellent look to the other shooter. There you go, one more point for Ontario. 20-18. Just over 1.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Shooter is out. Both shooters are out for BC. And it's stolen by goal defense, Ontario. Stolen again by BC. BC taking advantage of their contact call on them, so they have a penalty. Looking long to their shooter. Always makes us cringe when we see these long passes, but... And that's 3 seconds on BC. So a free pass for Ontario. I love to see it. Shout out to Gail, the goal shooter. All right, I love learning everyone's names because then I can start using it on my commentary. Unfortunately, we only get last names on the roster. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support. Stolen by BC. BC moving really quickly down the court. Slowing it down a little bit for the shot. That's an obstruction, so the goalkeeper was too close. Not 3 feet away. Penalty shot missed. Rebound taken by Ontario. Ontario has a chance to bring it within 1 point with 15 seconds left to go. Can they do it? All right, it's a penalty for Ontario at the outside circle. Stolen by the goal defense BC, denying that extra point for Ontario. But Ontario has closed the gap. It is 20 for BC, 18 for Ontario. We are at halftime. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just under 5 minutes. And thank you for that. Ontario GA is Maddie. Awesome. Yes, go Ontario, go BC. They're both working really hard. We know they want to win. All right, see you in just under 5. All right, we're back from halftime. Third quarter. Oh, a little bit of a jump there. Ontario with the first center pass. They want to start strong. They get to set the scene for the quarter. A little bit too close by BC there. And that's the Ontario style right there. Close shot. Too close, but they make the shot work. Not a problem. All right, BC trying to get the ball in the circle. Picked off by the goal defense. And tipped again by the wing defense on BC, but Ontario maintains possession. And now it's 2-on-1. Ontario have an advantage here. And there we go. Ontario ties the game. And they have the center pass. They have a chance to get the lead. Big ball over the wing defense right into the circle. Long shot. But they get a contact call. So, a penalty shot. And the rebound taken by the goal shooter, who sinks it in. Ontario with the lead now. Awesome. Thank you, Momo Scott. Joanne Peters for wing defense. Excellent. Ontario trying to get another lead. Can Ontario extend their lead by 2 points? Straight into the shooter. Really taking advantage of the goal shooter's height here. Smart move by Ontario. Thank you, Julie. Thanks for coming out. That's what we do it for. We want to do it for the viewers. Excellent save by Shalini, but unfortunately, Ontario goes offside. So BC has a chance to close the lead that Ontario just managed to set up in the beginning of this third quarter. I hear you, Julie. Netball is fun. And anytime we're away from the court, we just want to be back on court, right? Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming. Shakira, an Ontario goal shooter. Good to know. Thank you. BC adds another point onto the scoreboard, but Ontario maintains a 2-point lead. Big shift in gameplay. And there we go, another point by goal shooter, who is Shakira. Solid effort by Ontario. And they get the throw on. BC defense keeping it tight. They want the ball. All right, BC has a chance to score today. BC being a little bit frantic with the ball here. Looking for that open player. Far back. The shot is good. Score is 22 for BC, 24 for Ontario. Excellent defense by BC. That was a team effort for sure. And BC have another chance to bring the ball down court. Close the gap. BC being patient with the ball. That was a beautiful bounce pass, but penalty was called before that. Contact on BC, so Ontario now with possession. Looking deep to the wing attack. Goal shooter holding beautifully. And that's another point for Ontario. They extend their lead to 3 points ahead of BC. BC keeping it short, trying to keep the passes safe. Little bit to the left, but the rebound was taken and it goes in. This is a close game, my friends. 25 for Ontario, 23 for BC. And Ontario's doing a great job looking for that wing attack down the court. Goal shooter trying to get closer to the hoop, better positioning. And BC with the center pass. Excellent defense by the Ontario goalkeeper. And it's Kay, awesome. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, Kay's on fire. It's a bit out of my view in the corner there, hard to see. Probably hard for you all to see as well. But Ontario has possession. They managed to keep it in court. Shakira is just all over the court today, despite playing goal shooter with such a restriction. She manages to make the most of it, so way to go. Ontario with another center pass. BC tight on their defense, forcing Ontario to go back to their defense on that pass. And they look deep to their goal shooter. Nice look, Shalini. Good effort by BC. Defense falls short the shot, but Ontario maintains possession. Big pass to the goal shooter, who misses but gets their own rebound, and the second shot goes in. Ontario extending their lead, 28-23. BC really looking to get some points on the scoreboard now. Asking for the ball in the circle. And they were lucky. They were lucky. BC gets the penalty here. And the shot is good. Anyone's game still, anyone's game. And this is a close game, that's for sure. A forced ball by Ontario. That's okay, they shake it off, they cheer each other on. Now they're on defense. BC looking for the open player. Another obstruction call gives BC an advantage for bringing the ball down the court. They see the shooter who comes out, keeping the ball short. Playing a very different game from Ontario. Ontario's going for those long balls as they can with that Shakira's super tall shooter. So as we say, you play to your strengths, and both teams are just doing such, and you can see it on the scoreboard, 28-25 for Ontario. Penalty for BC. Just a bit short. Someone has a penalty. Who was it? goal defense. Ontario has... Nope, BC has the penalty. Had the infringement, so Ontario gets the ball. Solid defense by the goal attack from BC. Don't manage to keep possession. Ontario with the hustle. So they're looking for Shakira. They're looking. There it goes. And there it is. One more point for Ontario. 29-25 for Ontario. With the center pass. And a short ball this time. Then a lob into the goal shooter, who puts one more on the scoreboard, extending their lead by 5 points. BC wasting no time on the center pass. And the goal shooter coming to help out whenever they can. And a beautiful play by BC there. And a beautiful lift move by the Ontario goal defense, trying to extend their reach a little bit while maintaining that 3 feet. So you can see the goalkeeper literally picked up their goal defense teammate to extend their reach, and it worked. The shot did not go in, but the second attempt did. It's always fun to see lifts like that. And Julie, you know you're right. Goal shooter Shakira, she knows what works, and she's keeping it up, and their teammates know, so that they can get the ball in just like that. BC with possession, just get it in, barely into the edge of the circle, looking for that edge player, right over goal defense's hands, mid-range shot, and it's good. Goes around the rim a bit, but in the end, it's a goal. Ontario with the center pass. Just doesn't get touched, goes out of court. It's untouched first, so it's on the court. Beautiful hand defense by Ontario. The score is 31 for Ontario, 27 for BC. Beautiful fake pass by the wing attack from BC into the open goal attack, who sinks it in. BC with the center pass. Unfortunately, a little bit of breaking by BC, so Ontario gets the free pass. It's definitely an anticipatory game. Normally, the whistle is blown right when this foot is stepped into the center, and this time it wasn't, and so people started running, but whistle didn't go. You play by the whistle, right? You play by the umpire's whistle. Ontario GDs, Stavia Alwood. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Stavia. And again to the goal shooter. BC almost doesn't stand a chance with the goal shooter with that setup. So Ontario looking to extend their lead. Taking their time. Just a bit of a forced pass there close to the edge. Score update is 32-28 for Ontario. We have just under 1.5 minutes left in the third quarter. BC has possession. BC is being patient with the ball, not forcing it, waiting for the shooter to be open. And a little bit of a fight in there. But they get the penalty. Ball just goes around the rim, falls out, but goal shooter gets the rebound, sinks it in. Just under a minute left to go. BC has center pass, scores 32-39 for Ontario. Can we get one more? Huge drive by the goal attack. Long range shot, they decide not to take it. Can I get closer? Just miscommunication by the BC team there. Ontario, good catch. Oh, just a little bit out of court. Almost had the balance. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. BC wants to get a point. Ontario does not want to let them get a point. The pressure is on. They're looking deep. Beautiful passing. Just outrunning the defense in the circle. And that's a point. 2 seconds left in the third quarter, and that's time. We finished the third quarter with 32 for Ontario, 30 points for BC. One more quarter left, another 15 minutes. So much can happen. See you then. All right, one more quarter to go. That's 15 minutes left. Scores 32 for Ontario, 30 for BC. Anyone's game. Ontario has the center pass. That's Shalini. Ontario looks straight back for that center pass. And BC makes the most of it. Gets the steal. Long pass across the circle. Quick movement by BC. Using that wing attack to really reset the shooter's positioning. And they bring the game within 1 point. BC has the center pass. Can they tie the game? Goalkeeper does a great job on defense. All right, some fumbling. BC has another chance. Here's the throw on. Wing attack's wide open. Good look to the shooter by BC. And they're resetting, trying to get a bit closer. A little bit of a better positioning. Throw in for BC. Nice fake pass by BC. And BC ties the game. It's 32-32, and only 1 minute has passed in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, Ontario crossed the line too early, giving BC a chance to get into the lead. And another lift move and defense by the lifter. That was phenomenal by Ontario, but some same teammate collision. We have a time called. Looks like they're getting up. They're gonna switch positions. It was quite a smash from their own teammates, unfortunately. Can really get winded from those for sure. It's okay, Shalini has the support on the bench. Ontario is back at it with possession. Some more teammate contact by Ontario. BC looking to take advantage of this. The game is still tied. And a good look by Ontario goalkeeper. So BC get the penalty pass. Stolen by the Ontario goal defense. Ontario looking to get back in the lead. And an offside call for Ontario, so BC gets another chance. This is a long, long play. Umpires are making sure the game is safe. Calling all those contacts happening, especially in the circle, where it can get very feisty. So BC now in the lead by 1 point. They have the center pass, but they throw it away. Just a miscommunication by BC. Ontario has the throw on. Ontario with a chance to tie the game. And that goes over a third, but it is an advantage. An advantage call. So BC will be taking it in the center third. Little bit of confusion between the umpires there, but we're back. And beautiful passing into the circle by BC. And the shot is good. BC extend their lead by 2 points. Ontario looking for a comeback here. Goal shooter asking for the ball. 2-on-1. Goal shooter has no problem with that. Gets their own rebound and makes it count. Were there any substitutions? Because the injury time was called by a player on court, center Shalini from Ontario was substituted for someone else, but I believe, to my knowledge, all the other positions remain the same on both teams. Looks like another substitution is being made here for injury time. Again, it's a really rough physical game today. And yes, sorry, Ross, we didn't manage to get the new roster from the bench for the start of the quarter. So sorry about that. All right, Ontario switching it up. Bibs are on. They're looking to win, no matter the injuries. BC's looking to win. They're working hard, right to the goal shooter. Just misses, but gets their own rebound. Again, shoots and scores. The game is now 35-34 for BC. 10 minutes left in the game. BC shooter coming out to help as usual, using that wing attack at the circle edge. Long shot. just bounces off the rim. And Ontario have possession, looking to tie the game. Beautiful move by goal defense there, who subbed in. Looking across the court, and to the goal shooter, Shakira has the ball. Falls on her own. BC manages to get possession. And we see goal defense calling for time. Goal shooter Shakira calling for time. And it looks like we're gonna need some time to reset, so we will come back when the game is back and running. All right, unfortunately Shakira has come off court, but we did have a substitution made for the goal shooter. I agree, Julie, those jumps are dangerous. Even without any contact, just the landings can make it. When you repeatedly do those landings over and over and over again, it's very hard on the joints and is dangerous, and that's why a lot of us retire early, or a lot of us get some injuries. We have some laughing going on because we are some young early retirees over here. But BC has the shot that was missed, so Ontario has the rebound, and they are still looking to tie the game. Ontario trying to get a different player to take that penalty pass because the goal attack had it, but you want your shooters in the circle. So they knew that was the right thing to do, and Ontario just misses the shot and a little bit of an obstruction there. So BC with the penalty. Beautiful strong pass by goalkeeper on BC's team, sending it down the court. Looking for the shooter, but that goalkeeper, who was it, Kay? Was her name Kay? Goalkeeper just on it, as usual. A little bit of a fumble there. Ontario manages to gain possession, looking for some help. No one's there. Into the circle, just a bit wide. Unfortunately, Shakira is not in the circle anymore to catch those lobs. We need a different tactic here, Ontario. What's it gonna be? Let's adapt. BC making the most of that turnover. And right to the goal attack. Another obstruction in the circle. Mid-range shot. No problem for the goal attack. The score is 36 for BC, 34 for Ontario. Still anyone's game. Lots of time left in the fourth quarter. Just a bit too far of a pass by Ontario there. More than 7 minutes left in this game. All right, BC taking care of the ball, communicating, hey, that pass is good, not a good idea, and that one was not a good idea. But Ontario can take advantage of this. How will they do? Looking down court for the open player. Beautiful passing by Ontario, just a little bit of a fumble. They managed to keep possession. Great passing by Ontario, just beautiful. Really seeing the defense there and making sure they don't have a chance. Timing those passes over their hands. So that's a point. 1 point away from tying the game. BC looking to extend their lead. Holding on to the ball just too long. Ontario, can they tie the game? You know they want it. I know they want it. And they know they want it. They're looking for that open player. Lucky pass to the goal shooter there. Excellent defense from BC in the circle. Right away into the circle, trying to get the ball closer again and again. Penalty shot for BC. And it's good. BC up by 2 points, but Ontario has the center pass. They're closing in. Ontario has adapted well. As I've mentioned before, they've had to change their style a little bit, keep those passes short. Good tip by the goalkeeper. And a penalty pass outside the circle there. Goal shooter wide open. Going for the shot. Short, but gets their own rebound. Another shot, and this time it's good. It's a 1 point game, everyone. My heart's racing. I don't know if yours is. Do they see the ball? They don't see the ball, but the goal defense fumbles, and so BC so luckily maintains possession. Good hold by the goal shooter there. But the wing attack did not feel comfortable passing it. That's okay. Goal attack's there for the shot. Rebound taken by the goal shooter. And this time it's in. BC extend their lead by 3 points now, 38-36. But there's still just under 5 minutes left in the game. Nice giving goes by the Ontario players there. Beautiful back roll by Ontario. Fumbles the ball, and goal shooter takes it from them and makes the score count. Goal shooter doing a great job subbing in at the last minute and contributing those points for the team. Goalkeeper doing a beautiful save there. Ontario looking to close the gap. Little fumble. Again, Ontario, they have each other's backs whenever those fumbles happen. Excellent move by goal shooter, just deflecting those. Circle defense by BC adds another point. The game is tied, 38-38. Ontario now looking for a lead. Ontario making sure they pass to the open player. Goal shooter gets their own rebound and sets it in. Ontario with the lead, 39-38. BC broke the center pass too early, but Ontario lose the ball and BC have possession again. BC working with such high intensity. They don't see the goal attack there. And it just fumbles out of their hands. Ontario with the throw on. Beautiful steal by BC wing defense. Just so clean. BC patient. And a long shot by the goal shooter ties the game. All right, injury time called one more time by Ontario. Wing attack needs to come off this time. Quickly substituted. Just like that. All right, quick passing by Ontario. And a penalty shot. And it's good. Ontario had the lead once again. Just over 2 minutes left. Goal attack, asking for the ball in the circle, trying to get a closer look. There's the fake move. They get the contact call. That's a penalty right at the edge of the circle. It's going to be a long shot if it's taken. It's a pass. Pass is thrown out by Ontario. And BC have the throw on. Long ball, risky pass, but it goes through. Beautiful movement by the circle players there. And the ball was thrown away, miscommunicated, unfortunately. Ontario have a chance to extend their lead with 1.5 minutes left in the game. Tipped by BC. But some off-ball contact from the two centers by BC, so Ontario has a penalty in the center third. Defense working hard. Ontario maintaining possession. And they add one more point to the scoreboard. Ontario are 2 points ahead. We have 50 seconds left, and Ontario have the center pass. BC has the ball. They're looking to score. 30 seconds left in the game. BC need one more point. Can they do it? My heart is racing. These teams are working so hard. Ontario have possession this time. 12 seconds left in the game. Looks like Ontario has this one in the bag now with 5 seconds left. And that's the game. Such a close game. Great work on both teams. Solid effort. They both fought hard. The score is 41-40 for Ontario. Way to go. Next game happening is, let's check the schedule. We have Quebec versus Alberta happening on the live stream at 1:30. So that's in 12 minutes. In the other gym, which will not be live streamed, we have BC versus the Open Women's BC versus the Under 23 BC team. So that's back-to-back games for them. Quite difficult. And then we have the men playing again, and Ontario versus BC to finish off the day at the end. So stay tuned. Make sure you click the new live stream link for the next game, which you can find on Instagram or the Netball Canada website. All right, hope to see you there.